Hello, this is a Dungeness crab, and I want to talk about real quickly and show you how to crack it correctly. That's a good way, but in this case with the Dungeness crab, it's really the way, and with a lot of the techniques because of the design that's afforded to us. And so let's start by taking the top off here, just like that. Some people, a lot of times this is liquidy and they like to drink it. It's crab butter, they call it. I'm not a crab butter person. So these are gills you remove, and then I break the face in like this. Smash that in, and while you're getting it, you can get some of this gutsy stuff off. The rest of these gills on the other side. And then it's handy if you take one of these tips as a tool and take the tail male crab here, break that back too, and I use it just like this to kind of scoop some of that stuff, the guts, out, and we can get rid of this. The next step is to just break it in half like this. And then the next thing to do, and this is very important, is to smash this body meat like this. Get that good and smashed. Not terrible, just kind of crunch it. And the reason is so that you can separate these sections with the leg. This is important for being able to remove the meat easily. So now I'm going to take each of these sections apart with the body meat. Like this. Now that you have that done, it's important to separate every joint in the crab. I'm going to use one of these front ones because it's a little bit more descriptive or visual. So I'm going to break off this body meat piece like this, and now I can take apart these little membranes of shell and start removing the body meat. Just like this. So there's a little membrane there. If I want, I can bring in my tool. You can use pliers for cracking the shell. I'll show you when we get to the leg sections. But I don't. I just use my teeth, which, you know, your parents and dentists probably wouldn't like. So you just keep going along here with this and just break those little membranes off like that. By membrane, I mean shell, the thin shells. And you can get where it'll come out of there. Take this crab tip and poke in there and just kind of pull the rest of it out of there. And so pretty quickly, we've gotten all the meat out of that body section. So that's how you do the body section. So now with the leg, you want to make sure that you completely separate each piece. And my friend likes to suck on the juice, like pull this off and suck the juice out. Make sure you don't miss a piece there. Every section comes apart. So now this one, this piece, the way to get the meat out of here is you break this tip right here, and you can push it down on the plate like that, or you can just use your fingers to break it, and you break that little piece off and it gets out of the way so the meat can come out. And then I just pull on these little tendons, and this is why you have to separate the pieces so you're not fighting these tendons that are inside the meat. It pulls out. So I'm poking that just like that, and it lets this piece of meat come out right here. And you can, on the edge of a bowl, you can hit it like this, and a lot of times it'll come popping out of there for you. So I'm going to crack this just a little bit more like that so that I can break it apart and finish getting that piece of meat out of there. You know, it's always true when you're trying to demonstrate something how it kind of fights you. Anyway, so there, that piece is all cleaned out of its meat, and you're not wasting any of this expensive crab meat. So here's the next section. I just take and break it like that. I use my teeth, but you can just hit it like I just did with my fist, or you can use a little hammer or a pair of pliers, or like nut crackers work. And that's comes apart. Just watching for shell. Getting that piece out. Okay, same thing with this piece. I'm just going to crack that open a little bit so I can open it up. Just like that. Same thing here with the main pincher. Same thing, separate the body meat piece. I'm going to use my poker tip. Crab uses this the same way when it's eaten. Takes this piece and digs the meat out of the fish or whatever it's eating. Clams. They love clams. Like razor clams, they catch them right out of the ground, or out of the sand. There, that's all cleaned out. Okay, so I'm going to separate. My friend would suck on the end of this and pull the pincher off like that. I get that little piece of meat right there. Break each one of these sections off. Yeah, this one here I break a little bit. Just enough to get it spread apart so I can get the meat out of there. Like that. All the time watching for little pieces of shell. You don't want that. And I don't know, people eat crab salad. They like crab fritters. They like crab in their omelet, or a lot of different ways people use crab. But I kind of like to just eat it. I don't want any lettuce near my crab. No, I don't want any sauce. Maybe a little more salt if it's not quite salty enough. But when I cook it, I actually like water that's even saltier than seawater. If I use seawater, I even add salt to that. You can't really get too much salt, especially if you're going to refrigerate the crab or put it on ice. It's needs plenty of salt when you cook it, or because especially ice will really draw out the salt out of the crab meat and make it bland. Of course, the best way is eating it right out of the cooker when it's still warm. One more piece here and then we'll stop, so it's not too long of a video. But yeah, separating the sections is key. And the sections of the body, and then also the leg sections, so that you're not fighting those tendons, those connective tissues. Just like that. Could have done a better job, but get them out in nice big chunks. Anyway, that's all there is to it.